appetite to invest in Ukraine post-conflict. They are concerned about the political risks. They are also focused on certain industries, especially in telecommunications, less so in possibly big infrastructure projects and the like. Where are the opportunities for DFC as well as JBIC to provide a kind of not just investment opportunities to support Japanese and U.S. companies, but also provide a kind of risk guarantee that needs to come?
Well, you mentioned post-conflict. We're not waiting. We have now, since February 24th, 2022, when Russia further invasion of Ukraine was launched, the legal and brutal aggression by Russia, we have made more than $1.1 billion in additional transactions to support the private sector and economic growth, economic resilience in Ukraine. This is across the board, but some areas of deeper activity are the agricultural sector, where Ukraine has significant advantages, and it's crucial to keep that sector thriving in order to support the overall Ukrainian economy. But it's also, we've done a number of investments in manufacturing, and especially in financial institutions, which are then on lending to small and medium enterprises, the engine of growth in almost every economy, and especially at this moment in Ukraine. In fact, this morning we had a ceremony signing another $40 million loan portfolio guarantee for a private bank based in Lviv called Credo Bank, and this is, I don't really know, I think our fifth or sixth transaction in the banking sector. It's also an area of partnership. We've worked with JBIC and many of our European colleagues, our colleagues at EBRD, who are really leading the way at the current moment, and the International Finance Corporation, to make sure that we're doing trade facilitation together, sharing risk in that way, and also supporting financial institutions and other businesses. The final thing I'd say is the current moment in Ukraine is really perfect for our political risk insurance tool as a way of mobilizing capital, and there's great demand for it. And it comes in a number of different ways. We've done political risk insurance to support businesses in the agricultural sector who otherwise would need to withdraw their working capital or not be able to make capital expenditures into facilities that need to be rebuilt and operating. We've supported through our reinsurance, the rebuilding of the insurance sector in Ukraine itself. All economies need as an important part of their financial infrastructure to have a thriving insurance sector. And you can imagine what's happened given the war. The insurance sector in Ukraine has really shrunk. We're trying, along with a number of private businesses from outside Ukraine, especially Aon, to try to revive and support and help risk transfer to get the Ukrainian insurance sector on its feet. So I could go on about Ukraine. It's a huge priority for us, and something that's, for me, quite personal, having been there multiple times since the war started, or this phase of the war started 2.5 years ago.
Well, I'm very much impressed what Scott and DFC have done in this very difficult circumstances. And in the case of us, as we are to support Japanese companies do. Some of them do stay in Ukraine and continue to do business, but they don't have any actual short-term needs for reinvestment at this time. As though we are ready, we haven't done an actual lending operation. But Ukraine is so dear to us. The situation is so very much close to us in the Far East Asia. So the limitation didn't stop us doing anything in Ukraine. We have a partnership with the BGK, which is a development bank of Poland. Poland, as you may know, is the country who is most generous to receive the refugees from Ukraine. We guarantee the samurai bond issuance of BGK of 90 3 billion yen, so that the proceeds will go to the national expense for receiving the people, the women, and children, and disabled from Ukraine. We continue to work with those institutions to find what we can do. And in the case of Black Sea Trade and Development Bank, which is consisted by the member countries around the Black Sea, we have given them 2-step loans so that they can use it to their programs in Ukraine. So we will try to find opportunities, overstretching our mission so that we can do in times of real necessity.
If I could just add, I mean, I think that's what Nobu said is really important. It has been an area where institutions like ours have really spent a lot of time thinking about how we can work together to leverage our work and share deal flow and risk. But there's also an opportunity that for DFC in the bordering countries of Ukraine, the countries that have felt energy vulnerability, particularly because of Russia's aggression and coercion. And we have undertaken activities to support, whether it's through renewables or through gas in Poland especially, but elsewhere in the region as well. And we're thinking more long-term toward nuclear as well to free those countries from any kind of vulnerability or coercion from Russia.
You've all been incredibly patient.